So let's imagine that you have a fly.io application and you would like to add a domain to that. Say your application is pixelpulverizer.fly.dev. You don't want to have people entering that URL into their browser to go use your SaaS or whatever. This is just a little thing I spun up. Maybe you want them to go to pixelpulverizer.com. How do you actually do that? Well, I'm going to assume that you are using Squarespace domains and you have a domain. Pixelpulverizer.com is the one that I have and I'll be demonstrating. And then I'm going to assume that you've got a fly.io app and you sometimes deploy to it from the command line. There are two URLs that you should visit, and I will be putting them in the description of this video. One is a bit of Squarespace documentation, and the other is a bit of fly.io documentation. As always, the answer for me was simply to read the docs a little deeper, and I could have saved myself a lot of headache. So how does this whole thing work? How do I make it so that when I go to pixelpulverizer.com, I actually am routing to this URL in the background? Well, let's go to Squarespace domain. Well, actually, no, let's go to Fly. So I got this by just Googling how to use custom URL with fly.io. There's a lot of different options here, and I'll parse the information for you. What you're interested in is adding uh, a C name or an A slash triple or quadruple A record to your domain provider. So that's Squarespace, and you basically just want to take some information here and put it in Squarespace. And actually, all of this stuff is wrong. But the part down here, um, get certified, this is correct. So ignore everything and just remember this part right here. And I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this. Then when you go to Squarespace, you're going to go to DNS settings. You're going to delete any default settings and you're going to add an alias. All right. So you click add record and the host is going to be at. That's just for the root of everything. Basically, you get the drop down to be alias and then you route it to your fly.io URL. And that's only going to work if under DNSSEC, you've got this DNS security extensions disabled. Okay. So there's the overview. Pixelpulverizer.com. If I was to go route to that right now, after doing those changes, nothing would really work, and you would end up on a site like this. You'd go to pixelpulverizer.com, and it just wouldn't actually load because you still have to certify on the fly.io side. That's where you're trying to forward to. You've got to say, hey, that's okay with me. So here in the fly docs, you just say fly certs add pixelpulverizer.com and then fly certs add www.pixelpulverizer.com. I just did that for my terminal where I use fly, CTL, fly's command line thing. And there you go. Hopefully that made sense. If not, read the docs again.